Good morning and welcome to the Friday edition of Sports This Morning. It's the last one for the week and we promise to do our best to make it worth your while. Thank you for staying tuned. My name is Yemi Adebayo and of course there's a lot to talk about this morning, but first I want to let you know that you're very important to us. You're an integral part of this program and of course we want you to be heavily involved in everything we're doing today. That's why we start by letting you know how you can contribute to the program this morning, how you can get your views across to us. For some of you that have been with us for a while, you know how to do that. But just in case you're joining us for the first time, you can do that on Twitter and, of course, on Facebook. And that's it on your screen. It's Channels iPhone Sports. If you want to get your views across to us on Facebook. On Twitter, it is at Channels_Sports. And, of course, you can tweet my personal handle right there at the bottom of the screen. It is at Yemi Adebayo 20. Okay, so that's how you can get your views across. Like we always say, speak up and be heard. I'm not going to be alone on the show this month, but before I introduce my partner to you in our usual style, let's take a look at the headlines, the issues that will form the bedrock of this morning's discussion. Well, first on the list, Nigeria's downward slide in the FIFA rankings continues as the Super Eagles slip to the 43rd position. We'll be talking about that a lot more on the show. The question on everyone's lips, what is really going on in FIFA? Michael Garcia's decision to resign as FIFA's independent ethics investigator is still causing ripples, and Garcia claims what was published by FIFA is an incomplete and an erroneous report following his 2-year study into the 2018 and 2022 World Cup bidding process. Well, let's go to Formula One now. Formula One boss Benny Ecclestone has been reappointed to the board of the company that runs the commercial side of Formula One. The 84-year-old was forced to step down when fighting bribery charges early in the year, but is back in the saddle. And of course, on your screen, British boxer Amir Khan telling undefeated pound-for-pound king, American boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. is telling him, fight me or you lose credibility. I'm the only boxer left that can give you a decent fight. Okay, so those are the headlines, top news stories making the rounds in this part of the world. Before I go any further, let me quickly introduce my partner on the show this morning. I have the pleasure of having with me Cecilia Omoru.
Thank you for having me as always.
Okay, like we said, we want you to be an integral part of everything we're doing. So on each segment, we'll love to have your views. We'll be starting with Nigeria on the ranking. There's not much to say, Cecilia. The fact is that we're going down, and
yes,
somebody jokingly said, at the end of the Nations Cup, you know, we might be 15th in Africa. Do you see that?
No, I think it's definitely, except the top countries will not perform at the Nations Cup. That's only when we will not have that. I think that's the situation we just have to think about right now. 9th in Africa, 43rd in the world. You know, the last time it was released, we're happy that, okay, we didn't drop, we're just there. But this time around, we have to drop because if you check, most of those countries that played the qualifiers for the Nations Cup, they all won their games. Some of them had 100% and all that. I think it shouldn't really be a surprise to all of us. It shouldn't at all, because next year, like you said, maybe 20th position, you never can tell, because 9th is really, really poor. So we should be looking at 15th or thereabout when the next FIFA ranking is out, except our friendlies that we're going to play against Côte d'Ivoire, ranked higher than us, and of course
Mali.
And Mali.
If it's maybe do anything.
Precisely, that might just, you know, put us up a little bit. But the Nations Cup, come on, you're not there. So
and this is it. It's not looking pretty at all. We're in the 9th position. I mean, 2-3 years ago, even though we complain about the FIFA ranking, but 2-3 years ago, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for you to imagine Nigeria in this situation. And it's alarming now because it could get worse. But let me quickly read this tweet to you, Cecilia. I don't know if you agree with Suleiman Mohammed at Farouk_official. It says, Nigeria downfall is okay. He's talking about 49. We're actually 43 in the world, and 9th in Africa is okay. CS here for me is the way for, I don't know.
Okay, he's
People
going
already,
into coaches
people
and
already,
all that.
yeah, probably thinks coaching is one of the problems. I don't know if you also
It's
agree
not
with that.
really, you know, if you check FIFA ranking, check the top 20 in the world did not change. Why? Because there was really no international friendlies that most of these countries engage in. That's why it did not change. FIFA ranking is based on your performance. So it's just quite clear that Nigeria 2014
We
hasn't
just
been
didn't
a good
do well.
year for Nigeria. So whatever position we are, it's just something we need to accept. It's not all about who is coaching. It's not all about whatever happens. It's about the friendlies you're playing, the games you're playing, your failure to qualify, to even go defend the trophy that you won, you know, last year. It's still another major factor. Since you can't defend it, it's simple mathematics.
Counts
There's no
against
way
you.
it counts against you because you're defending, so you're definitely going to lose more points. It's just normal. There's nothing you can say. Whether some people will tell you that they don't agree with FIFA ranking, you just have to agree with it because they have a way of
I
counting
think
it. In the sense that
this is a period where most of us can't
shouldn't
query.
That is it. You can't even query the FIFA ranking because if you check, it's the games you played. If you're playing a team higher than you, usually you get more points. But if you're playing an opponent that you are higher than FIFA ranking, it's normal. There's no way you get a point there. And if you're losing your games, it's the same thing applies. So that's just what people don't really understand about the calculation. It's just scientific, and you need the points, numbers of games you've made, you've amassed, the numbers. That's how they're going to rank it, and that's how you're going to know your position. That's why Spain had to remain in the top position for a very long time because they were winning all their matches.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. And this next one worries a lot of people in the football world, and the story about Michael Garcia and the things that he has said. And I don't know what's really going on. I don't know if you can help me out here. It's confusing. Some people are saying the house might just crash.
I don't think so. Or, you know, they started an emergency meeting yesterday in the FIFA side. I believe maybe by today we'll know what's going to happen because they want to vote in favor. So they want to vote whether to release that Garcia's report or not. That's the vote. Maybe by the end of today we'll know if it's going to be in favor or not.
Garcia is already claiming it's doctored.
Precisely.
What you're going to see is not the work I've put into 2 years. I doubt FIFA's impartiality and all that.
I think where FIFA actually shocked themselves in the leg would be immediately when the report of the Qatar came out. I believe what they should have done first would have published Garcia's report at first, Michael Garcia's report. I think what even led to his resignation was the fact that, you know, Sir Blatt actually said some time ago that, look, I want to build a FIFA that people really look at and say they're really credible. That's why he came up with the ethics committee. But at the end of the day, the head of ethics committee has resigned, and Michel Platini has already said his resignation is actually a big blow to FIFA. It simply shows that FIFA is really not ready to be transparent in any form. But at the end of today, now we are going to be having a Domenico Scala. He will be the one who's going to lead the emergency meeting in Marrakech in Morocco. So maybe at the end of today, we'll know what's going to happen, whether it's doctored or not. But let's just wait and see the report. If it's doctored, definitely Michael Garcia will also come out and tell us, look, it's been doctored. But I think they should just publish the report the way it is, because that man spent 2 years
don't you think it might
going
be damaging for FIFA? Some things might come out that FIFA probably does not want.
It doesn't matter. Right now, they really need to be transparent. That's what everybody wants. Even for Michel Platini and the others. The other time, I think Secretary General of UEFA was even saying they are tired.
Infantino.
Precisely, said they are tired of what is happening at FIFA. Okay. So it's the right time for FIFA to come up and really show the world that, look, we can do this. Look, we can really be transparent if we really want to. Because what a FIFA audit and compliance committee want to do today, it's something everyone is really waiting for. See how they can bring the report. Whatever happens, I think it shouldn't be doctored. Let it be the real one. So at least for once, people can actually trust FIFA.
All right. Let me also read some tweets. A lot of people are not really interested in FIFA. They're just interested in the Super Eagles. So Cecilia, let me just read one or two tweets. This one from Prof. Oniwon, he says that the slide shouldn't surprise us, that we should just think of the way forward. That's just basic what he's saying. And Adela Thomas is saying, look, we should set the record straight. Our players are average players and they are not patriotic. Our managers are saboteurs. Well, all of this still talking about the FIFA ranking. All right. What we're going to do now, we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at what's going to go down this weekend in the English Premier League. Some big games across Europe, across the big four. the French League, Spanish League, the German League, and the Italian League. We'll do that when we come back from this break. Join us again.